All right, speaking of good squads, how good are the squads, guys, in the AFC North? DraftKings yesterday put out their over-unders. Now, obviously, it's early. We still have the draft. There's still a sprinkling of free agent players still out there. But for the most part, the Browns, at least, are pretty set to what they're going to be. I mean, most, if not all of their starters are already on the roster. Mm-hmm. Maybe they had a linebacker, who knows. But the rosters are pretty set, especially for the Browns. Mike, give us the lines for what DraftKings had. They put out the over-unders in the AFC North.
Yes, so we're going to do happy face, sad face for this. Okay. So if you think the over will hit for these guys, give me a happy face. If you think the under will hit, give me a sad face. And we put the 4 AFC North teams on one graphic. So we're going to go down in order of projected win totals in the AFC North, and then we'll go to the rest of the AFC contenders. So starting with the Bengals. Had the highest over-under win total in the AFC North at 11.5. Over under 11.5 wins for the Bengals this year.
I'm over. Although I think that's close.
I think that's like
very close.
Yeah.
Very.
I got the Bengals at 12-5 this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if they was 11.
I want to say 11.
They could win 11. They could win 14. I mean,
I'm going with 11.
But here's what I'm gonna have to stop doing. So the Bengals are at a point where I got to stop thinking that the Bengals going to fall off. And a lot of people got to come to that conclusion. I think a lot of people in Cleveland be doing this, and it's getting annoying a little bit, where it's like, but we own the Bengals. No, not necessarily, dog. Like all that, it's still some leftovers from that Baker Mayfield regime where people be thinking they could throw that, witch doctor stuff on where, hey, the Browns, they own the Bengals. Stop. The Bengals are not going to be trashed, not no more unless Joe Burrow get hurt, Jamar Chase get hurt. You got to put some respect on their name at this point. I'm going to go over 11.5.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you think about it last year, the loss to the Browns last year, the Bengals got their ass kicked in that one game.
Yep.
In their other 15 games, because they didn't play, the Bills game got canceled. In their other 15 games, they won 12 and lost the other 3 by 3 points or less.
And they had some impressive wins. That impressive win, one of the more impressive wins was when they went to Buffalo in the cold, snowing, and was like, nah, we're going to get our money off here too. I was like, dang, bro.
I think you going 11-6?
I think the hits on defense going to add up this year.
It's really just safety.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's
you need playmakers back there.
I hear you. That is their biggest.
These guys are – the safety position –
And they lost their starting tight end.
The safety position is – obviously, I'm a little biased. Full disclosure, I'm a little biased. But, obviously, the safety position is something that don't get a lot of recognition, a lot of talk about, unless they're doing bad. If you're consistently doing your job and you're getting these runners down on the ground or you're in the post doing your job, it's not noticeable. But if a guy's not, they got some young guys that's going to be replacing these guys. They
did sign one veteran.
Yeah,
they
got the vet. Yeah. But outside of that, it's just. And then the secondary to me was never as far as corners goes, they were okay. It wasn't nothing crazy. So now you don't got that protection over the top that's helping them. So I think that it might cost them 1 or 2 more.
It might. I mean, it's a fair point. The secondary for the Bengals is probably their biggest, tight end, but I don't think tight end's a big deal.
Joe Burrow
secondary is probably their weakness, their biggest weakness. All right, so G and I got them over. Tyvis has got them under. Next.
Correct. And just a reminder, these are lines set by DraftKings. This is not me making them up. This is by DraftKings Vegas Sportsbook. So next up in the AFC North, the Browns. I think
these lines all are pretty reasonable.
Very reasonable.
None of them are easy picks.
No, I know. I'm just saying so people out there don't think this is me. This is what DraftKings
the only reason you think that is if they were way off, and I don't think any of them are way off. I think they're all kind of borderline.
So Browns at 9.5, second highest projected win total over/under in the AFC.
I got the Browns at 10-7.
I got them at 10
as the 6th seed in the AFC this year. Now, obviously, this all comes down to how much better Deshaun Watson is. If Deshaun Watson is not significantly better, the Browns are not going to win 10 games.
How many did they win with him? They was 2-4 in the last 6.
2-4, yeah.
Okay.
And obviously 7-10 overall. So going 10-7.
Weren't they 3-3 with Watson?
I thought they
were 3-3.
Yes.
Oh, was it 3-3? I thought it was 2-4.
It was 3-3. But the way he played, they probably should have been even worse than that.
Right.
I'm expecting him. I think we are all expecting him to play a lot better. So I'm going 10-7. Browns just over.
But yeah, I got them definitely at 10-7, or 11 wins. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go on record and say 11. Now, here's what I'm looking at in this situation. I believe that Deshaun Watson will be 9,000 times better
Well, if that's the case, then they have a very good chance.
The
to
last,
win 11.
you know, you the Duke of knee jerk.
I'm the Duke.
You had us all drinking the 6-0 Kool-Aid.
But see, sometimes the 6-0 Kool-Aid it comes back on you. You know how you you drink too much of something. You give it up and you're like, oh man, I'm sick. I ain't gonna do nothing.
It's calling.
Yeah, and then you get back to the middle of the day. You think you fine, and it come right back again. You be like, man, there's some delayed reaction in that.
It's kind of like Chinese food, right? Like you eat Chinese food, you're like, oh, I love Chinese food. It's great. Then you get sick. You're like, I'm never gonna eat Chinese food again. Then a week later, you're eating the Chinese food again.
Or
you love it.
Or even eating the leftovers. That's 3 days.
That's
old.
right. And so you go into the Chinese buffet. I don't know what's happening.
3 days old. Y'all out of pocket today.
3
days old.
Hey, listen,
you
smell
ain't
test.
nobody eating
I
those
just had
3 day
some
old
leftover
Chinese
spare
food.
ribs yesterday.
You'd be like, hold
You
on.
don't get the barbecue spare ribs?
Oh, I
love the barbecue.
Wait a
But
minute.
they don't even
Delicious.
taste like ribs.
First
They be
of all,
some,
No.
they put the Chinese sauce
I don't know
on
what
it.
that is. Some magical
What
sauce.
is that
I don't
sauce?
know,
I'ma
but it's
keep it.
probably evil for you.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. First of all, if I go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
I don't take to-go boxes. I don't because I don't.
That's why you're thin and we're not.
I don't eat leftovers like that. And then if it is, no, listen. If I
do you
order,
don't eat
I don't really
leftovers?
eat leftovers. I
Never-
don't.
What if you're not feeling well and you can't eat any of your food? You wouldn't take it home?
I'm usually feeling well.
Okay.
It's very, very rare.
So hold on, bro.
I've never been in a spot where I'm not eating. Like,
okay.
that's,
You ain't never got dessert like some leftover cheesecake that you
No, you don't take dessert home. That's a sin.
Well, it depends what it is.
Like if I go to the Cheesecake Factory, okay, and I say I want a piece of cheesecake, but I'm gonna take it home.
Yeah.
Like I won't eat it. Like if I start eating it in the restaurant, I'm not going.
So
Yeah.
you take something to go, but you won't anything you've already started eating.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's it.
Especially like
Why?
my entree, because I'm not gonna eat it.
Why?
Because I'm just not. I just know I'm not. And it really bothers me because my wife does it all the time. She, we'll take it to go.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, or she'll be
does
like,
she eat
she'll say,
it?
let me get a to-go box. And I'll be like, for what? You're not going to eat it.
Wait
It's
a
going to
second.
sit in the
So she
refrigerator.
doesn't eat it ever?
No. So it's like, it's going to sit in
I
the
always eat my
refrigerator and we're going to
leftovers.
throw it away in 2 days.
I even eat my wife's leftovers. Like,
Damn right.
So
Well,
like,
that's the-
and
that's
there's
the
a statute
problem.
of limitation on that. My ex-wife used to be mad
Yo,
because I pounded her food, and I'm like, look, bro, if you don't get to it within 16 hours, you're
It's
done.
over. It's over. The best is like if my wife and I go out for steak once in a while, I'll eat my whole steak. My wife will eat half. And then the whole time I'm thinking, ooh, I hope she doesn't eat the rest of it because I'll be eating it at home. And a cold steak later that night or the next day?
Cold
steak?
Steak and eggs in the morning.
Cold steak?
Hey,
What's the matter with y'all?
I got excited.
This is the
I
sickest
got
thing.
excited.
What is wrong with y'all?
I got
It's cold? I've never had it. I never will have it.
Like,
Cold
I love
steak.
it,
You
bro.
have not lived.
No,
Tyvis.
I'm good. I'm good.
And all
I
my
need
wife
it.
orders rice anyway.
The steak,
it.
listen, the steak
All
ain't the
rice.
same if you take it to go. Like if you take it home and try to reheat it, it's
It's
never
not
gonna
as
be the same.
good, I give you that, but it's still
So
good.
No.
It's still good.
No, Bull's
No.
right. Bull's right.
It's still good. It's not as
Y'all
good.
are wrong.
Do you do old pizza?
Cold pizza's
What do
delicious.
you mean?
Like cold pizza, like you pounded some pizza last
Usually I
night.
heat it back up.
Yeah.
So you eat that a day later,
Yeah,
right?
see?
Well, yeah.
See?
It's not
That's
as good.
leftovers.
But,
Mac and cheese is better
you
the
gotta
next day.
you gotta do it correctly. When you heat it up, I got one
In
of
the
them.
toaster or the oven, not in the microwave.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you put it in the oven about
You got to do it like that.
325
No,
or
no, no.
something.
I got a
500
I got a
degrees.
toaster oven.
Or I got a toaster oven too.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's just like one piece, I'll put it in the toaster.
Yeah.
But if I have like 3-4 pieces, I'll put it in the oven. And I put it at 500 degrees for a couple minutes.
We up here giving
good
out.
to go.
Lessons.
All right.
What's next?
Next team.
before we
we
do-
Wait,
didn't
I
divide
didn't
us into Brown.
say. I didn't even say myself.
We went down, I don't know how we got down the
What
floor.
did I
started
say?
Chinese
What
food.
did I
The Kool-Aid took us to Chinese, took us to
Took us-
leftovers.
yeah.
Wait, we said Brown's not. Yeah, I got them at 10. I think that they addressed it. They addressed the positions that they need. Obviously, I think the biggest changes is the coaching staff of what they did. I think that alone gets them to 10 wins.
I really am. I have poo-pooed special teams quite often, more than I should.
Really?
I have.
Oh, you disrespectful to me because that was my living.
Special teams, but the Browns have decided for the first time in a while they're taking special teams seriously, and
As
I
they
think
should.
that will help.
Well, I think the reason that they did that is they looked at the season and they said, listen, we got a good kick returner in Ford,
Yeah.
and we got a punt returner, one that was hurt, but another one that's also willing, actually took one to the house.
Yeah.
It's like, we might need to start paying attention to that.
I don't know that, what's his name, Grant? Is it Grant? Jeremy Grant?
Jakeem Grant.
Jakeem Grant. I don't know that he's definitely on the team the more I think about it.
You think?
Because they have a punt returner and a kick returner. He's not much of a wide receiver. I don't think I'm saying he might make it, but I don't think he's a short thing.
I tell you what, now that Michael Woods is out, if they draft another wide receiver, I think it's very questionable for sure. Because DPJ is like, we don't really need Grant if Grant is
30s.
Who is?
Right.
Grant?
Yeah, I think he's 31.
Grant's older. And Elijah Moore returned punts at Ole Miss and was very good at it.
That's true. Elijah Moore returned punts in college. All right, next. So we're all over on the Browns.
All over on the Browns, and we are all over Built Bars as well, because when you eat a Built Bar, you are full for the rest of the day. You don't need leftovers because you will eat the entire Built Bar. They're that delicious. Use promo code LOCKDOWN15 for 15% off at Built.com. Next up in the AFC North, the Ravens. Now, this is the toughest one because you don't know about the quarterback.
Are we doing this as roster as is?
As is.
So right now, Lamar is a part of the Ravens.
But I'm going to project.
You have to decide if you think he's going to be on the team or not.
Yeah, he ain't on the team no more. I don't feel like he on the team.
I don't think he on the team. If he requested a trade already.
You never know, though.
I mean, he could come back if they give
I'm going to go under because I don't even buy that they're that good with him.
Well, I don't know about
they're
that.
Certainly, but without him, they got no chance of winning 9 games.
Well, not 9.
No.
I see them at 8-9 for sure.
No. This is a year.
I give them 8-9.
I think they're a 5-win team without him.
That's ridiculous.
No.
That defense is still really good.
I'm there with you. First of all,
y'all is absurd.
The Ravens got the most injuries I've ever seen.
That's why they fired their strength staff.
Guys be blowing out knees in regular walkthroughs. Yeah. Dudes be injured. They don't got. Matter of fact, they don't even got Hundley. Hundley was a guy that they would bring in, and be like, okay, well, we can kind of run the same type of offense. They don't even got him.
Well, he's a restricted free agent. I would assume they'll bring him back.
I thought he was unrestricted.
No, he's restricted.
Mikey,
so
we got to get we need the verdict on that one.
But here's the thing. Yeah, their defense is good. How the hell are they going to score points without Lamar? He was their whole offense. They couldn't score last year.
They scored. They beat the Browns.
They didn't bring him with Hundley.
With Hundley?
They didn't beat him with Hundley.
We did. No, they blew that game. They should have. They almost beat the Bengals with Huntley.
Almost whatever. You know,
they is a putting the ball out at the 2-yard line away.
They've hung in games because their defense is good. But we're not. The days of the super elite defense is over.
Look,
Ravens have a good defense. They have without Lamar, is there a worse offense in the NFL?
No.
I'll get back to you on that one.
They've got a good tight end. They got decent backs. No, they don't have a special back. No. They don't have any receivers. They got nothing. No quarterback.
They are a few injuries on the O-line.
Houston is worse.
Yeah, but that's
you take Houston's weapons over Baltimore's weapons, though.
Who is their weapons?
Well,
they got a nice back.
Dalton Schultz.
Who's the back?
They got Robert Woods. They had drafted Mechie last year.
Their back is a kid they drafted last year, Damian Pierce.
I like him.
He's good. Yeah. He was the only one.
Okay, so they're tied with it. And we don't – the Texans are going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, right.
So, and maybe that guy's not going to be good. I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know what Bryce Young
I'd still rather have the Houston offense because at least with the rookie, I got some potential that the guy might be good.
I can wholeheartedly.
The run game is the reason why the Ravens was good anyway. And you still can run it with the quarterback and the running back.
Lamar Jackson's running game. The rest of their running game was fine.
If you
it was okay. It wasn't
special. If you think J.K. Dobbins not about to come in here and
why not? Why isn't he?
1,500?
Come on.
Oh no, he ain't going for that. No. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
No, like for me, I think Baltimore is a classic case of a couple injuries and all of a sudden you start to look at, they 1-4, they 2-5.
First of all, let's get something. Let's get this figured out, right? If Lamar ain't on the roster, they drafted a quarterback with the first pick.
Right, but they're not drafting high enough to get a good quarterback necessarily.
I think they will.
Where are they drafting?
If Lamar Jackson does not play for them, I got them coming in.
I mean, they got
5 wins, maybe 4.
They could get Anthony Richardson or Hendon Hooker from Tennessee, and they'll be fine.
Well, no, Anthony Richardson is probably going to go higher than that. No.
What is with that? You know what?
Be top 5.
Y'all starting to. It's pissing me off about this dude. Man.
Oh yeah.
I don't like.
Why do y'all think this man is like that?
Wait. I don't. But teams do.
Like, why?
Why
not me?
Because everybody got.
I don't trust the guy who didn't do it on the field.
Thank you.
But the teams fall in love with the skill set.
You know what, Tyvis?
Everybody, see, Josh Allen got everybody fooled, dog, and that's the
Facts.
problem.
Facts.
They think that he gonna
And
be
Josh
the
Allen was still at least a starter for 2 years.
But,
I'm like, this guy
but the
played 1
thing
year.
is, Josh Allen went to a coach that said, F what we doing. We gonna tear up my offensive scheme. We gonna design it to fit you. If the coach ain't ready to do that, it's not gonna work.
Tyvis, you know this. Everybody be copying.
Man.
When you was in Seattle, when they had all them linebacker corners,
I just don't.
Everybody at linebacker, you had 12 linebackers, everybody 6'4" at corner. Everybody was trying to copy that. No, they draft specifically. You don't do that. You got linebackers you're trying to put out there. When Josh Allen came from Wyoming, they said his accuracy wasn't that good.
Where did he go in the draft? What pick?
9.
9.
Okay.
When they drafted him and he hit, man, look, now you got.
It took him 2-3 years to hit.
Listen, if you the Panthers or you somebody else and you see a dude running 4.4 and you like, wow, if this could potentially be Josh Allen and he's faster and his arm is just as
Is
good,
he worth the first round pick?
of course he is.
For a
If
guy
you
that
think he's gonna be
for a guy that's going might have to sit a year.
Of course he is.
But these guys almost never sit. Even when they say they're going to sit.
That's true.
Of course he is. If he turn out to be Josh Allen, and if you draft him and he don't turn out to be nothing, you're gonna get fired anyway.
I tell you
That's
what,
true.
he definitely fast, he's definitely big, and he definitely got the arm. But all that other stuff, when I turn the tape on, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't.
No player had better highs and lower lows than Anthony Richardson last year.
It was
All right, let's get to the Steelers.
And the Steelers, same as the Ravens at 8.5. They have a little more stability at quarterback, but that may not be a good thing.
2 years in a row, I have predicted that the Steelers would finish under 500 for the first time with Mike Tomlin. And last year they had to win their last, 4 to finish over 500? I hate to say this, but I can't bet
Oh, my
against
God.
Tomlin
I never thought I'd see the day, Bull.
I got the Steelers.
I got the Steelers.
I'm changing my mind.
Let's
Boom!
go.
8-9. Steelers 8-9. They're going under 500 again.
I got
8-9.
I got the Steelers tied with the Browns. It's gonna come down to their last meeting. Who gonna go to the playoffs?
You know why I think I got the Steelers coming. I got the Steelers coming in last place this year under 500.
Well, no,
Not under the
not
Ravens.
Florida.
No, not after the Ravens. Sorry, that'll be a third. The reason I got them coming in is because, unlike the past, I think the Steelers and Ravens in this division live off a lot of just nostalgia, bro. We swear Ray Lewis is still playing. Ed Reed is still there, and Ozzie Newsome is still picking these players. All these dudes, Troy Polamalu coming back. I just don't believe in Pickett. I mean,
I don't either.
If you take that over a whole year, I feel like he's a bottom third quarterback.
I agree.
I believe in T.J. Watt, and if T.J. Watt is on that field, their chances of winning is significantly better. I don't know why y'all.
There's no doubt about that.
Don't lie to yourself.
But Tyvis,
I hate Pittsburgh too, but don't lie to yourself.
But their defense is not as good overall as Baltimore.
No.
Now their offense is probably a little better than Baltimore, but
Yeah, they got the
with
weapons.
I think
They got the weapons.
to me, Kenny Pickett is like Mac Jones and these other slappy quarterbacks.
But he got
They're
better
bottom of
weapons
the-
Than Mac Jones.
He does.
If the
true.
Browns will go ahead and do what they're supposed to do,
If the
ain't
Browns
no reason the Steelers should be able to compete with the Browns.
If
None.
the Browns adapt the dog mentality that Pittsburgh have, the Browns will win the Super Bowl. It wouldn't even
Browns
be
need to
close.
go 5-1 in the division this year. They just split with the Bengals and sweep the Ravens and Steelers.
I mean,
I feel like
that's hard.
I
To
feel
do.
like that's a
that.
tough
That's hard,
ask.
but they should do that.
I got them 4-2.
But
I feel like they're gonna split with the Cincinnati and the Pittsburgh.
I just feel like the Browns on defense this year. I like how they just basically came out and said we wasn't good enough. Our picks that we was making wasn't about nothing, and we just need to get some veterans in here. They got Schwartz, and some of the stuff that you was able to get off on the Browns last year, you're just not gonna be able to get that off no more. Like running the ball for 200, like it was a two-way goal. Tyvis, you could throw in the Browns and run. It didn't even matter. It just pick whatever you want to. Hey, it was T.I. You can have whatever you like. Like, you were running around like an old sugar daddy. Girl, go ahead and go over there and get you some of them.
Listen.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I think that they will. I think the run game will be significantly better, just from the simple fact.
You mean the run defense?
Yeah, the run defense
Okay.
will be significantly better just by a coach coming in there and laying the law down and adapting the mentality that they're not going to run the ball on us. So I think that's going to change. obviously the secondary, when they figure out that nickel position, which I really think that G. Nugent might as well just stay there. I know you hate to hear that, but that's just what it is. Once they adopt that, I think that now that the defensive coordinator, he's going to hold these guys accountable. These guys should be locked in. They understand, what's at stake this year, because if they really care about Stefanski like that, then they got to find a way to win some games this year, because if not, we'll have him on the show a lot.
Yeah. So Steelers, I got them falling off a little bit.
By the way, real quick, guys, before we move on to the other teams in the AFC, yesterday we were talking about the Browns possibly signing Al Woods, the veteran defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Now, Al Woods is a guy, he's old as dirt, but he's still been pretty productive. He's only missed 8 games.
He's played 12 games in 5 years.
What's that?
He's played at least 12 games in 10 straight years.
Right, but I like this better. Only in his 30s, he's missed 8 games in the last 5 years. That's 1.5 games per year. He's going to be 36, I think, this year.
Correct.
In fact, he just turned 36.
And I know he was in town. Have they, is he going anywhere else?
I haven't heard anything yet. Have you seen anything in the last half hour? I don't know.
No, and to be honest, Mary Kay's report was he's visiting this week, so he may not have visited
so
yesterday.
Okay.
He may be
I
visiting
know
today, tomorrow.
you didn't play with him in Seattle.
No, I
you
didn't
played
play
before
with
he
him.
did that.
I like it, though. That just goes to show you they're fixing all of the different little stuff. And you know how it is.
Like, I know him. What year was he with the Colts?
He was with the Colts, I think, 15 to 19, maybe.
Then I seen him in 17.
I like old dudes in the middle. Old dudes in the middle when you play defensive line, they know all the tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
They don't get blown off the ball. They don't be getting reached like that. They don't be getting cut off like that.
It's because the old guys understand that.
Al Woods is a player who, in the game, you're almost never going to hear his name called.
Nope.
Not at all.
Because he's just going to plug up that hole, he'll take a couple of blockers, and he'll let somebody else make the play. But they didn't have that.
At all.
Every young guy on the Browns defensive line is on notice right now. They are all on notice because they have brought in 4 veteran defensive linemen, and if they bring in Woods, that'll be 5. So nobody's guaranteed a job.
Nobody.
And there's never enough good defensive linemen on a team, never.
I agree with
Because
that.
I want to rotate 7, 6, 8 guys.
And then think about it like this, too. They might got 2 free agents they signed in the draft. They number one dude might be a D tackle that they bring in the So you're right. They don't know.
They could even trade up with all their 3rd and 4th, 5th round picks and trade up to the 2nd round for a defensive.
They all on notice.
Everybody's on notice.
It's good. You need competition.
That's right. What's up,
We're going to go a little quicker on the next 5 here. These are the other 5
All right.
AFC contenders in the same win range as the Browns.
Yeah, good team.
We'll start with number 1 here, the Chiefs, 11.5. That was tied with the Bengals for the highest over-under of any AFC team.
I mean, I'm not betting on the Chiefs losing 6 games.
No, they better do it. They would have to do that twice in a row before I did it the 3rd game.
Right.
Patty Mahomes will have to go down.
The guy's the best
for that
quarterback ever, or will be by the time he retires, probably.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Bills, 10.5.
This one's a tricky one for me.
I like what you said. They're very tricky.
It's a tricky one because that division is decent. Like, there's no bad team in that division. I think the Jets and the Browns are the 2 new teams in the playoffs this year, assuming the Jets get Rodgers. I think the Jets and Browns are the 6th, 7th seed in the AFC. They're better.
I give them 11. I give the Bills 11 wins.
The Patriots are okay. The Dolphins are okay. I'm going. What is it? 10.5.
10.5.
I'm going under. I'm a little down on the Bills. I think they're 10-7 this year.
And the reason I'm down on them a little bit is because how old is Stephon Diggs? Stephon Diggs is
like
29, I believe. I'll confirm you, but I believe 29.
Their problem is this. Like the Bills.
They trying to get D-Hop.
The Bills need another receiver. The Bills don't really run the ball like that. And their best running threat is their quarterback. I just don't. When I saw them play against the Bengals, I'm like, man, it's hard for them to move the sticks like that. Like, if you keep Stephon Diggs in front of you and you don't let them make big plays, like, they have a hard time scoring all those points. You just can't give up the big play. Even when they played the Browns, I'm like, boy, this game is boring as hell. Like, no fireworks, no nothing.
Yep.
I think they come back a little bit, and I actually like the Dolphins in that division.
There you go. All right, next.
We'll get to the Dolphins in a sec. As always, though, our Browns talk is brought to us by Lincoln Electric. Lincoln Electric now hiring for great jobs. They are experts in manufacturing and welding. Check them out at Lincoln Electric. Next up, the Jaguars, one of the surprise teams in the AFC last year. They're over under the same as Buffalo's 10.5.
Now, this is an interesting one, guys, because
Their
at first
division
glance you think, well, the Jaguars are not good enough to win 11.
Their
But,
division stinks.
as Tyvis said, their division stinks. What do you got, Tyvis?
They got Calvin Ridley.
They don't feel like an 11-win team.
They don't.
But that division just
yeah.
sucks.
Well, they gonna win. I give them one loss, so they 5-1 coming out the division.
Now, you know what could change it? What if Lamar ends up in Indy?
That changes a lot of stuff.
Then it would go to that.
That changes a lot of
right
stuff.
now.
I don't know that's going to happen.
10.5?
10.5, correct.
A lot of wins.
If
they were in any
That is a lot of wins.
that's a lot of wins for a team that has had one.
What
good
did
half.
they have last year? Do anybody
Man,
know?
they
Their record last year, for the record,
And they got off to a bad start.
was 9-8, and they
Yeah.
had to win their last 5 games of the regular season. They were 4-8 at a point, and won 5 in a
love
row to make the
Calvin Ridley,
playoffs.
too.
I don't know. I might have to.
I'm going under.
I'm gonna go 10 exactly.
Even on that division.
10. I got 10.
Hey, why is Tyvis's face his Denzel face though? Like that's his suave face. His suave face. Yeah, nah, they ain't getting that one. And but I think they take a little step back here. They played well last year. I even like how they played in the playoff games going to Arrowhead. But if I got the Browns making the playoffs, and I think the Jets can make the playoffs, then which 2 teams you taking
Well,
out?
the Jaguars
Jaguars gonna win their
still have to
division.
win their division.
They had to win their division. I don't
So
think
the
they get a
teams
wild
that
card.
I have out are Baltimore and Miami for me. Unless you said
Well,
maybe
speaking of
I
Miami,
like Miami.
that is our next team.
or maybe you got Miami and Buffalo and no Jets.
I
that's
like
me.
Miami.
I got Miami out.
Well,
Go
we
ahead.
have Miami and the Jets as the last 2. We'll go Miami first, but they do have the exact same win total over under, the same as the Browns. This is Miami first at 9.5.
I'm under.
I'm gonna take. Listen, for all they got a bunch of names. They could either turn out like the Philadelphia Eagles a couple years ago when they had everybody and their mom, and Vince Young called them a dream team. And I'm like, you can't call somebody a dream team and you play quarterback and you the backup. Like you can't. Like what are you talking about? But I like the fact that they went. They got Jalen Ramsey now. They went and got Bradley Chubb on the defensive line. They got 2 crazy receivers. It's just all about you know who.
Tua.
It's Tua.
Yeah.
Like if Tua, I mean, he's one hit away from being done.
Yes.
But they got Mike
Finish.
White.
Ain't that the former
Mike
mayor?
White.
Ain't that the former mayor of Cleveland?
Mike White.
Shout out to it is
the
Mike
one
White.
that the
Yeah.
Jets receivers love.
Yeah, look.
Mike White screws up my theory.
Yeah, no,
That
he's
all
not. Yeah.
that usually guys with the last name White are black, and guys with the last name Black are white.
That's kind of true. It's kind of
Last
Mike
up,
White
and then
is
we'll
white.
move to some Cavs.
By the way, I think I think the Dolphins go backwards this year because I don't like their team. I think their defense is not very good. Obviously, they got great receivers, but I got no faith in Tua, and they got no run. Who's their running back?
Nobody.
They got 3 slappies at running back.
Is
Right.
my boy Raheem?
Raheem
Well, they
Mostert,
still have Jeff Wilson and
old.
Mostert, but
They killed the Browns,
still
but then
fast.
again, everybody killed the Browns.
That's true.
all right. Last one. Then
Jets.
we're talking some Cavs. The Jets may or may not have Aaron Rodgers, but their
I'm
over-under
assuming
is
they're going
still
to get
at
Aaron
9.5.
Rodgers, and I got him at 10-7 with Aaron Rodgers.
Man, this is tough.
It is because I really.
That's a
part of
borderline
it,
one.
A
They
part,
could
I just. It's too much hype around it, and I just don't think it's going. It's like
I called the Jets a fraud last
It's
year.
like
I
the
just thought they
Dolphins,
were,
man.
but-
It's too much.
I
It's too
can't-
much
I can't-
around it, and I just don't believe it.
Hey man, they drinking the 11-7 Kool-Aid a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult. Like I don't think it's hard for a quarterback to come right in and just
he
ball.
ain't there yet.
Yeah,
he
that's
ain't
fair.
got the chemistry like that, and it just seems to me like the Packers is really. I wouldn't be surprised if this whole thing fall through.
Watch Rodgers just retire. The Jets have to start Zach Wilson.
That'd be so funny.
By the
Now
way,
you wonder if that falls apart, do the Jets go after Lamar?
Yes,
Yes,
I would
100%.
think.
that was,
I do have to
Then I like him even more.
they should have went after Lamar to begin.
I'd rather have Lamar than Rodgers.
Yeah.
I'll give you credit. Bull, and I'll give you credit on this. When Bull was killing Baker Mayfield, he was right about one thing. In this city, we live by different sets of rules. Zach Wilson was the #1 overall pick.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Was number 2.
Yeah.
2.
Look how quickly they was just like, oh, hell no, we ain't doing
He's
that
garbage.
no more. Like, it
Now,
took them 2 years.
In fairness, Baker was better than Zach Wilson.
But look
Yeah.
how fast they discarded him
Yeah, right.
like old worn socks.
Same thing with Sam Darnold.
Bye. They quit.
You can't play. See ya.
And they draft, this is back to back.
Yeah.
Darnold didn't this man. And it was like, no, we're not about to play no
Jets
games
might
with
draft a
you.
quarterback again this year.